Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984. Beyond the podcast of 1984.
Woo! What was that? I think the fart monster just ran by and threw up at me. That's cool. Been a lot of sightings of the fart monster lately, and so yeah, here we are. I am the bizarre alien from outer space, beyond the podcast of 1984. This is I'd like to say a special episode, I guess. No, it's not the WTF Zombies one yet. It's not the Mentors episode. Nope. I was thinking earlier, man, I want to do a new episode, but what the heck am I going to talk about? And I'm like, hey, I know. I'm going to talk a little bit about some other things that have shaped me, the person that I am. And one of the many reasons why I nicknamed myself the Bizarre Alien. So, when I was a kid, I was really, really into Star Wars. I saw it when it first came out, and I was like 6 years old. And I thought it was awesome. Although, I didn't realize for quite a while that Darth Vader wasn't Dark Vader. I thought that was his name. In fact, when I was really little, I think I was about 7 or 8, I had a dream that Darth Vader and a bunch of stormtroopers walked through the Mos Eisley Cantina. And I'm guessing they were looking for, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Obi-Wan, and C-3PO, and R2-D2. I don't know. But, yeah, they were in a dream. I had a dream about Star Wars when I was a kid. I lived in Airway Heights. I was obsessed with Star Wars. In fact, I had a best friend at the time named William Jones that lived across the street from me, and every chance we got, we would play Star Wars. We played action figures, or we'd pretend to be characters. Like, I was always Han Solo, and he was Luke Skywalker, and we'd try to find other people. And, I mean, I was obsessed, man. I had a bunch of action figures. William had a bunch of action figures. Both had a lot of action figures. Either he was drinking vodka, or I was drinking vodka. But anyways, just kidding. Sorry, I had American, I've had American, movies stuck in my head lately. So anyways, we both did. We had a lot of Star Wars figures, and we never mixed them up. We knew who was whose, and we'd play with them every day, and it was fun. But anyway, Star Wars was really big in my life, and I still love it. And I am embarrassed to admit that for many, many, many years, I was not into Star Wars. I mean, wow. I didn't, buy any action figures. I didn't watch the movies. I hadn't seen Star Wars in a very long time. And then when it got re-released in, 97? And I felt like such a traitor, man. I saw the first one at the theater with some friends, and it was a beautiful experience. It was so cool because I hadn't seen it since I was a little guy. So it was like 20 years later. And this was, of course, 2 years before... Yeah, 97. This is 2 years before The Phantom Menace. And anyhow, it was a beautiful experience, man. It just gets me a little emotional because, Star Wars, man. Holy smoke. Anyways, I ended up, got a copy. I checked it out at the library, and I got the first Star Wars movie. And it was the pre-special edition, with all the added stuff, which is fine. The version's kind of cool, I guess. But honestly, I prefer the original theatrical. Just like Empire and Return. I like the original, before they added all the stuff. Those are cool. Don't get me wrong. I think they're kind of cool. Although the extended dance scene in Jabba's Palace, Return of the Jedi, I always thought was kind of cheesy. I mean, it's kind of funny, but whatever. It was George Lucas's vision and story. So hey, man, do what you got to do. It's cool. But anyhow. Yeah, I ended up later down the road, started collecting some action figures, and I think I have about, 25 figures. I have them in a construction helmet for some reason. I've got some books. I got this really kick-ass pop-up book. But okay, I'm kind of going on and on about my Star Wars collection. This episode is not just about Star Wars. I mean, I love Star Wars. I'm the guy. Every time I love doing this. If I'm in a building or anywhere with automatic sliding doors, you walk through, I'll wave my hand. And I've had people look at me weird, but occasionally you get somebody looking at me like, yeah, right on. They know what I'm doing. Anyways, I love Star Wars. Big time. It was my first love, my first foray, exposure, whatever. My entry into the world of science fiction. And of course, it expanded. And if you listen to an earlier episode in season 1, of course, I talked about all the other shows I loved, like, and I still love, like Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers. I love the Flash Gordon movie. Been a big fan of that since I saw that, I think, in 81. I saw it right after it came out. I saw it on God, I don't think it was VHS. It hadn't have been. It was probably Betamax. But anyways, Flash Gordon. I love the serials, the Flash Gordon serials. God, my brain is just going ding, 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 ding. The original Star Trek. I appreciate all the Star Trek series. But the original Star Trek what a great series. Seriously, man. I love it. I've been really slow. I got the box set way, way, way over a year, probably a year and a half ago. I finally broke down and got the DVD collection. I need to get back into it. I feel like an idiot, but I keep forgetting I have it. Anyhow, science fiction. When I was a kid, this is right before Dune came out, which I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a huge fan. I've read the first 8 books. I love them. Frank Herbert, I think, was a freaking genius. And I think his son did a really great job with, I believe it was Kevin J. Anderson. I think it was. Helped him finish the Dune books, at least the main, the main stories, not all the side stories. But anyhow, first time I saw Dune, it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, what? But, later on, because I was just stuck on Star Wars. So anything else, although I still love The Black Hole. That's one of my all-time favorite science fiction films. It still freaks me out that near that ending is just weird, man. It's just, what scene I'm talking about. If you haven't seen The Black Hole, check it out. It's proof that Disney wasn't always kiddie kid stuff. I mean, The Black Hole was pretty freaking dark, man. But so my whole thing is, my early years, of course, getting really into science fiction and just being in my own world. 82, I saw Conan the Barbarian and Excalibur, Hawk the Slayer. I think it was 82, maybe 83. I saw Shogun Assassin and all these movies, all these like, warrior films and stuff really inspired me. And when I was a kid, I was drawing a lot, so I was obsessed. I came up with this science fiction concept. I called it Star Eagle, and that was the name of the ship. And it's a really cheesy looking ship. I haven't drawn in a long time, but to me, it looks like a cross between a RV, a small RV, and and like a mobile home. It looks really dumb, but it was really inspired by another show that I really loved too. That was a big inspiration for me, in Space 1999, which, God, great show. Still need to get that Blu-ray collection. I love that show. But the ship was really inspired by the Space Eagles, which I thought the ship's called Space Eagle, but those ships were so freaking cool looking. Great show. Get really weird sometimes too, and really creepy. Just amazing. So, I got into drawing when I was a really little kid. I came up with Star Eagle, and it was like this guy and his best friend was this big furry looking monster guy, and obviously rip off the Star Wars, and they're flying around in a ship called the Star Eagle. And then the enemy was this guy, and I still can't figure. He had like a weird breathing apparatus on his face. He's called Martian Man, and I think he was like the villain. And then 2 robots, of course. Yeah, I wonder who they were inspired by. But I didn't draw any comics or anything. I just drew a lot of pictures of them, and I still I don't know. I don't really remember what the characters looked like, but I remember what the ship looks like. But kind of being in my world, my own world, I was always a so-called nerd. It seems like at a young age, I was just like a target for assholes, and I guess that's how it is. I wasn't tough or cool, but I was really into that stuff. And at the age of 53, I still love all that freaking stuff, man. I love it so much. But I really got into drawing, and as I was growing, my uncle, who I have not, I don't know, I hope he's okay. Not the nicest guy in the world, but, my flesh and blood. But, anyways, he did a few cool things that I will always be appreciative. And wherever you are, I thank you so much, man. But when I was a kid, I think I was about 9. I would hang out with him because he'd come over. He like had time off or whatever. I think he was I can't remember if he was in the Coast Guard, so he was taking a break or something. Something, he was on leave. I was living with my grandparents at the time, and he used to let me read his more adult magazines, like Warren Publication stuff. So Vampirella, The Rook, Eerie, Creepy, stuff like that. And I loved it. I was like, wow, definitely not really kid stuff, but not like pornography, but just more graphic, violent, scary, cool stuff. Of course, Vampirella. Oh God, woo! Love Vampirella, man. Been a fan since I was a kid. I love Vampirella. But anywho, and then of course, Heavy Metal magazine. In fact, I remember he gave me an issue. I don't know what happened to it, but one of the coolest things that he ever did that I will always be grateful for. I'm a huge fan of this. About to say who this is, but he got me this really cool glossy. It was like a book, but like a soft cover version of a Chris Foss art book. And I remember being just so fascinated. God, it was just it was just an awesome, beautiful book. But all these paintings, and a lot of them ended up like being the cover of science fiction novels, like a lot of the Lensman series, which I've never read. I'd like to. I remember the anime. I wish. Even if it was just on DVD, I wish they would release that. I used to have it on VHS. Really cool anime, and it's based on, I don't know if it's based on one book or maybe random stuff from different books. I have no clue, but it was really badass. Anyways, Chris Foss was a science fiction illustrator / painter, and his stuff was so freaking cool. Like a lot of it was like derelict spaceships, or ships in battle, or like ships floating in space with major damage on them, and then like a lot of stuff like planets, and there'd be like some warrior looking person and stand next to a giant robot or something, but just really freaking detailed. And I gotta say, to this day, it's been about, what's it been, a little over 3 years, but my sister and her I miss you, man, but her partner in life was a wonderful human being named Kenny, and I miss you, dude. I love you. Rest in peace. I was at my family's my family for Christmas. And it was really funny because I'm sitting there and they handed me this present. It was really heavy, I'm like, what the heck? And I opened it. I mean, I about burst out crying. It was a Chris Foss huge book. I was like, oh my God. And I poured through it and I was like, I almost cried. I have no shame to admit it. It gets me choked up thinking about it now. But I was like, how'd you know? And they go, we've seen your posts. And they also got me the Batman TV series collection, which I had, but I sold it to a friend of mine because one of the discs wouldn't work. He's like, oh, it worked on my player. It didn't work on mine. It was all glitchy. So anyways, they got me that. And the funny thing is I almost bought that like 2 weeks before. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, psychic powers. But anyways, that Chris Foss book is a beautiful hardcover. I think it's got most of the stuff I remember. I mean, my memory's pretty vivid, but from that softcover book was really small compared to this. This book is huge, man. It's like a just big, beautiful Bible. And anyways, that was so cool. But the funny thing is, the book that I had as a kid, I think I cut it up. I was cutting pictures out, and it ended up in the garbage. And I was just like, Fudge, man. And around that time, I was living with my grandparents for a while. And my mom, just a little side thing, she got me a Shogun Warrior. And God, you find those nowadays and they're so damn expensive. But it was, God, it was a Dragon. Cool guy with the red head with the five, oh my God, sorry, I'm doing it again. The really cool Shogun Warrior, I think is like almost the coolest, like a Shogun Warrior. But I got that. My mom came over one day to visit. She wasn't over for very long, but no, I don't remember. She visited or she sent it to me in the mail. I can't remember. It's been a long time. I was like 9 or 10, but anyhow, she got me a Shogun Warrior. She got me the Dragon, and he was so cool. And it just sucks because somebody ended up stealing it. With, of course, frickin' thieves stealing a kid's magic. But all this stuff, man, was such an inspiration to me, but especially like art, and watching some movies. And, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a superhero. I remember Wayne and I, when he was, still here, this is a long time ago, we were like, oh man, imagine being like a superhero. It's like, maybe we could join the Justice League and it's funny because when I was a kid, I kind of believed that because I didn't think like, oh yeah, one day you're going to grow up, you're going to get married and have a big house, have kids and dogs and cats and a car and all that. And you know what's funny? I still haven't achieved any of that. I mean, I live in a house, but I don't own it. I don't have a wife. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a mistress. I don't have children. I don't have any of that stuff. I have a dream lady. And believe me, I love her so much. I fantasize in my mind. If she was actually here like the time that I fallen head over heels with her, oh yeah, probably be grandparents now. I don't know. If I have a space car or something. But anyways, moving along. That's my personal stuff, I guess. But anyway, you know what I mean. Fantasize. But I loved all that stuff, and I was really a big Superman fan. Like after I saw the first Superman movie, I think I saw it in like '79 or something. But I was obsessed with Superman, and anytime I'd see comic books or anything, I was like, "Wow, I love Superman," and I still do. I love Superman. I don't have a lot of Superman stuff in my life. I mean, I've got the four films, with Christopher Reeve, and say what you want, folks. I like The Quest for Peace. Is it the greatest Superman movie? Nope. Heck no, it's not. But I like it. I thought it was fun. And it's just sad that was the last one, Christopher Reeve. I mean, yeah, they could have done better. But you know what? It's just kind of like, what can you do? But anyways, Superman is awesome. And I wanted to be like Superman and just be a hero, but it's funny. And then you get older and you just all the crap you got to deal with, and it's like I get older, I'm like, I'd almost rather be a freaking supervillain because people suck, but I don't want to be a supervillain. It's like, oh, you have to be the opposite of a superhero. Like, no thanks. How about just being yourself? So just kind of like maybe like be a rogue or something. It's kind of your own world, man. But all this stuff. Okay, I hope I'm not getting too close to that. But all this stuff in life, how we when we grow up and things we're exposed to, and it kind of almost defines us as people. And I mean, I never was like a super geek guy that I got older and all of a sudden, man, I matured and I became really handsome and attractive and I attracted women. I never really attracted anybody. I'm still. I mean, if you want to call me a nerd or whatever, go for it. I get excited about films. I collect Funko figures. Yeah, I know somebody out there's laughing. Whatever. Kiss my butt. It stinks. So just kiss it. Anyhow, I've got a bunch of random action figures and stuff. Like, I've got like imports of like Ghost in the Shell figures that I got at the comic book shop years ago. Never opened them. Got a lot of action figures. Got a wall of like action figures, like a lot of Chaos figures and some anime figures and stuff like that. And I got a lot of anime in my life. Of course, my movies, got different genres. Of course, my favorites like horror and sci-fi and then horror sci-fi. But I just always loved that stuff. All that stuff has always appealed to me. Of course, comic books, all that stuff. It makes me happy and it takes me away. And, like real life isn't really that exciting. And it just seems like a lot of things that happen in real life are always bad stuff. Like, when I was a kid, I didn't know about bills or any of that crap. And I get older and all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. I just got a medical bill a few days ago for $939. They want me to come back and then do it again. I'm like, ooh, yeah. And I'm dealing with all this stress crap being an adult. And some people don't have to deal with it because they don't have any responsibilities. It must be nice for them. And it sucks because just about everything I do, I gotta deal with myself. I get help. I've got a resource center and my doctor's helping me, which is cool. And I'm going to have to talk to them soon because I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So I got more bills coming up. And, oh, pardon me again. Yeah, hey, anybody falling asleep hearing me yawning? Hopefully not. Put it on pause. You could listen to it later, brah. But you get older and it's like, it sucks, man. I mean, sometimes being a kid stunk too. It was horrible. I mean, I wasn't abused or anything, but just felt like really ignored and just kind of in my own world, spending a lot of time alone, listening to music, drawing, headphones on constantly with music in my head. A lot of music, man. I say, well, probably the one I listened to the most was Pink Floyd, but I listened to a lot of music. I still listen to a lot of music. I'm trying to get back in lately. When I get home from my job, I've been trying to listen to more music. It's kind of hard, I don't know what's going on. It's like sometimes I feel like I have OCD. I can't concentrate. I'm trying. I'm having a heck of a time, but I've been really stressed. I can't drink regular coffee anymore. I quit that like 3 weeks ago. I don't drink alcohol at all. That's been like 4 months. People are like, oh, yeah, you could probably drink a little bit. Like, no, I cannot drink at all. The medication that I'm on.
You're still afraid?
Stop it now! I mean it!
He's coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant!
He's coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're acting like a
He's
child!
coming for you. Look, here he comes.
Now he'll hear you!
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here, B.C.A. Tune in to B.C.A.'s Podcast Weekly on Beyond the Podcast of 1984. BTP 1984.com. Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Yeah, right. I did that once. First night, I took my medication. I drank some beer, and the next day I felt freaking horrible. I'm not doing it again. Anyhow, getting back to my life. Well, that is part of my life, but that's the thing. People don't understand. It's like, man, you really like movies a lot. You like all this stuff, and it's like, some people think, oh, you got to grow up. Like I remember my stepdad saying one time, and I love him. I'm not dissing on him, but we're hanging out one day. He goes, son, just got to give up your Star Wars fantasies and get with the real world. It's like, man, the real world is horrible. Like people are like, oh yeah, you go out, meet people, hang out. Like I like hanging out with friends sometimes, but you know what? I'm really good with just hang out by myself. I have a core of friends that are awesome that I talk to on and off. I haven't really hung out in a while. A lot of that's my fault. Sorry guys, but you got friends online that I'm very fond of too that I talk to. I send voice messages because I hate typing. But anyways, real life. What a joke. I mean, yeah, I have enough real life responsibilities. I pay bills, and I'm going to take this medication and just go to my job every day. So I'm like, you know what, man? When I'm not doing that crap, I'm like in my own world. I play games. I just beat, what was it? Sniper Elite 4 for the second time. What was it? I beat 5 and then I beat 4, and because I replayed them both, And I'm playing part 3 again. So I love that series. But on the PlayStation 4. But no, the whole thing is I laugh at people like, you need to get with reality. I'm like, I am in reality, or you need to grow up. And I'm like, I'm as tall as I'll ever get. Butthole. I just get tired of hearing that. It's like, you know what? I do enough stuff. And when I'm not like with my boring real responsibilities, I'm trying to enjoy my life because, you know, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around. I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to die tomorrow, but you never know. I mean, my health hasn't been that great. I've been dealing with crap about my colonoscopy. I thought I was going to be getting that like next Monday. Well, actually, no, it'd be, yeah, like within like, this is now Thursday. 3 days, and I can't because of all this crap. And I mean, it's just like, give me a break, man. You want to get on my back because I like comic books and all that? It's like, screw you and your boring reality. It's like why I like metal and punk rock and new wave and noise and crazy music. It's why do you think my band, the Earwigs, my whole image, quote unquote image, is sci-fi and aliens or robots and machines and space. I don't want so realistic, boring. That's why I think a lot of rock music, I think a lot of country music, I think all this stuff is boring. It's like, oh, I'm singing about real life. I'm like, blah, I'd rather sing about what makes me happy. Real life does not make me very happy. I mean, I appreciate certain things and quote unquote real life, reality, blah. But, you know, that's why I call myself the Bizarre Alien, too. I don't want some normal name like, oh, I mean, I don't have anything against my name, Charles Styles. And I appreciate it. I've got some kind words in the past. Oh, man, you sound like an actress. Sounds like an actress name. I'm like, well, thanks. That's cool. And I like my name. Don't get me wrong. But that also goes back to the punk rock thing, you know, coming up with your own name, the non-Christian thing. Because, you know, in Christianity, it's like, oh, that's part of the whole Christian thing is you have to name your children and be blessed and all. I'm not blessed. I'm unblessed. I'm a freaking mutant, man. I'm damaged, and I've got, like, black blood flowing through my veins. And I will always be grateful for getting into science fiction. I'm glad that I'm the kind of person, and I will say that, I don't care if it sounds egotistical, I'm glad and very happy that all that stuff appealed to me, because some people it doesn't. I mean, you know, I'm not putting down people like kids that are really into sports and, you know, stuff like that, or being a Boy Scout. That's fine. My thing is, man, I wanted to be Han Solo or Superman, or like I wanted to be like Ambush Bug. I need to do an episode about one of these days, but Ambush Bug rules. It was cool, but I wanted to be Mad Max. In fact, when I was a kid, Wayne and I would dress up like characters from the Road Warrior. Mad Max 2. He would be the gyro captain, wearing goggles and an overcoat, and he'd wear like what is it? Not an ascot, but like what was that thing that Rob Halford used to wear around his waist? Like a, I can't remember the stupid thing it's called. It's like not a handkerchief. You know what I mean? Like some frickin' a sash, like a sash he'd wear around his neck, kind of like how the gyro captain did in the Road Warrior. And I would dress like Mad Max. I'd pull one sleeve up on my jacket, and I'd wrap like a bandana around my leg or something. And just, we were obsessed. I'm still obsessed with that movie, man. I love Mad Max 2, a.k.a. The Road Warrior. It's my favorite movie of all time. In fact, it's been popping in my head. I don't know. I might have to watch it again. It's something's going on in my head, man. It's been a while. I haven't watched that movie in a long time, because I've seen it so many times. I'm not bored of it. I've seen it so many times. And I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks or so that I'll see Furiosa. I really hope that I have not missed it. I want to see the movie so bad I could taste it. I could taste the oil and the silver spray paint and the sand and the destruction and all that. I could taste it. I could smell it. But no, that's one thing I was thinking about one day. I was really depressed, and I was like, I'm grateful. I mean, we all, if you want to call it destiny, you know, your path that you follow. And I mean, maybe this stuff is what made me kind of, I don't know, I'm not a loser, but you know what I mean. I never had girlfriends or any of that crap, and I was always awkward around girls. And it's funny, I've grown up and I'm still kind of in my own world. Actually, I'm very, very into my own world. I'm not like antisocial. There's a lot of gals that I like, dear friends. I haven't heard from them in a while. They're all really kick-ass ladies. I love them all. They're great. They're cool. And I hope that you're listening to my show. You're all lovely and wonderful. Like my friend Shannon, she's cool. I remember one day she just got hold of me. She's like, "What are you up to?" And I'm like, "I'm going to go to 4,000 Holes and like, hey, I'll meet you there." I'm like, "Wow, if you want to hang out?" I'm like, "Heck yeah." And I went there and I bought a Rob Halford 2 CD, his solo, his album that was on Nothing Records. And she actually showed up. I was like, oh, wow. She showed up and she took like this hilarious, I don't know if you call it a GIF or what, but it was just like a short video of me with my hand in front of the CD, and then I'm slowly lifting my hand up, and we were laughing. And then we ended up going across the street, and we hung out and drank some beer, and and then we ended up going our mutual friend Rawlene's, which was really cool seeing her, but she had to go to work or something. She had to go somewhere. So I walked home. It was a long ass walk, but anyways, it was really cool seeing her, and she's a dear friend. She's awesome. But yeah, I've always been in my own world, I don't really bother, man. I don't feel compatible and maybe even kind of scared because, when you're so used to being by yourself and you're thinking, oh man, if you're like with somebody, and I'm not even talking about sex or any of that crap. I'm just saying, if you be with somebody that, likes you and cares about you, and I don't know if I could deal with that, man. I mean, I'm 53 now, and I'm used to being by myself. And I know so many people, they've had multiple girlfriends, they've had all this, sex and experiences. I haven't. But, honestly, I'm just thinking, what am I missing out on? I mean, sometimes I feel a little bit lonely and heartbroken inside and wishing I had somebody. I've had people that I've liked very much, and nothing came out of that. And, made me sad, and I'm like, oh well, what can you do, man? I'm an alien. I'm a mutant freak jerk, black blood flowing weirdo. But it's good. It's all good. But I love everything that I'm into, and it's helped make me who I am. And I do collect. It seems it's predominantly hockey gear stuff, but Road Warrior type stuff. Like I've got a black hockey mask. Well, it was white, but I spray painted it black. And I will say real fast here, don't ever spray paint one in your bathroom with no air running, with no windows or anything else bad. Yeah, that sucked. But I love that hockey mask. Thanks, Sean. I love it. I ended up getting some Velcro. I took it off of a light, some kind of headlamp thing, and I love that hockey mask. And I've got like 3 or 4 pairs of shoulder pads. I got knee pads. I got all kinds of cool stuff. Got a catcher's mask, an old school one, not this new crap. It's pretty heavy too. And then I got all kinds of like a motocross, it's like a plastic helmet thing with a visor. I love that stuff, man. But yeah, these people grew up. I'm done. I don't care. I'll never grow up. I am grown up. I'm as grown up as I could be, and I love that stuff. And, people that give up everything because, I got into a relationship. And I'm not even going to say she. It could be a woman with a guy, or it could be a gay couple. I'm sure that's happened with gay and lesbian couples too. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I'll get rid of all that. Well, you know what? You're weak if you're doing that. You get rid of something because you want to, not because somebody, I don't like that. I don't care who you are. I dig everything I have in my life. And if somebody was offended, I'd be like, well, why are you even with me if you're offended by this? But anyways, my whole point of this episode is I am proud to be Charles Bizarre Alien of Styles, and I will continue to be until I die. And I have had fantasies. I wish I could be in cult films. I have fantasized about being in a trauma film. I wish I could go back in time and be in a film with Astron 6. I wish I could be in, go back in time. That's always their older stuff. No, it's not their older stuff, but some of these people that don't, really do underground stuff anymore, like Harmony Korine, which I still love. I love all of his films, but I have always wanted, imagine being in a Harmony Korine film, like maybe playing some weird sleazy character, or maybe even somebody that just blows their head off, like kind of like the beginning of Ken Park. So I wouldn't want to be in a movie that short, but like maybe play, a character or some weirdo. Just maybe playing myself. I feel like my life sometimes feels like a Harmony Korine film. I feel like I am in one of his films because I mean, there's some stuff I won't even mention, but just some of the stuff that I've done and experienced, and it feels like something from Gummo sometimes. I'm in my room, I'm freaking out, I'm playing something like, I don't know, I'm sitting in my room headbanging the Cannibal Corpse or some Japanese noise or something, or sockeye or something, man, and I was having a great time, and I'm like, if I was like caught on camera, it'd be pretty funny, but yeah, just people need to be themselves. I mean, if you want to be really mainstream, that's fine, but you don't have to be such an ass face, because that's my problem with a lot of yuppies. I'm always ragging on yuppies, but a lot of yuppies are just stuck up snobs and think their crap doesn't stink, look down on people and aren't like them. But I've seen that in the punk scene, I've seen it in the metal scene, really closed-minded people. Not all of them. I've met some very cool punk rockers, cool metalheads, met some country people that are cool, although not too many, but I'm talking about real country people from that live in the country that are like good people. But anyhow, I'm rambling now. I'm gonna end this episode in a moment. It's getting there. Yeah. So this episode is pretty much all the stuff that modeled me. And of course, getting into noise and punk rock and heavy metal, and when I say heavy metal, I mean like many different genres within heavy metal. Love most of it. What else? I don't know. Industrial, techno, new wave, 80s pop. There's only a little bit of newer stuff I like. Like I actually kind of like Dua Lipa. I think she's beautiful, but I like a couple of her songs. I like Billie Eilish. Don't listen to her a lot, but I like her. I think she's a very funny, cute, lovely, hot, funny, just interesting human being. And of course, let's go back to the 80s with Samantha Fox and Bananarama and B-52s and all those other cool, lovely ladies. But yeah, man, appreciate if you're still with me. Thanks for listening to my show. Science fiction, it was definitely my first big thing. Horror, definitely. Love horror movies. I root more and more nowadays for the killers than the victims. I used to root for the victims. Now I'm like, I like the killers better because the victims are usually a bunch of buttholes. And if you still haven't seen it, speaking of that, check out In a Violent Nature. Love that movie. Can't wait till it comes out on DVD, Blu-ray. I want to get it really bad. I did finally get my cheerleader camp. Wish the disc was in better condition, but it played just fine. I got it like weeks ago, and it was a joy watching it again. It made me really smile. I got to get that disc cleaned. God, it's like, got it for $37 because it's out of print. Anyways, all the stuff I'm into, especially Mad Max 2, is like really shaped my life. I appreciate all that stuff. I appreciate imagination, and there's just so much cool stuff out there. And of course, you can never forget anime. Anime has always kicked me in the butt. So much great stuff out there. Of course, my very favorite, Fist of the North Star and Irusei Yatsura is another big giant favorite, and Lupin the Third, all that series and the movies and all that, and all kinds of crazy Asian films and American films and films from all over the world. Thank you for inspiring me and helping me through the bleak times and making me who I am, and opening my imagination, all the great stuff, all the bad stuff. I appreciate it, man. And thanks to all my favorite directors and writers and artists. You all mean a lot to me, and a lot of you are gone now, but never forgotten, so thanks. And also to my dear friends and family for always believing in me, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, you can leave a comment. Just listen to the other episodes. You can go to BTP1984.com, and that'd be really cool, because if I get any comments and suggestions and stuff, I will answer on a following episode. And who knows, maybe we'll get the episodes out sooner. I don't know. It just takes a while. Tim's busy. Takes a while to edit these. I always thank you from the bottom of my heart. Love you, brother. And as always, to my space lady, if you hear the show, I'm still waiting, man. I've been waiting for a long time. So please come on down and hang out with me. And let's make up for lost time and have lots of fun and just laugh in each other's faces. That would be really awesome. And kind of probably turn me on too. But, that's me. I'm a weirdo. So anyways, thanks for listening to Beyond the Podcast in 1984. This has been the Bizarre Alien from Outer Space saying, keep watching the skies. Take care. Keep the filth, because the faith may let you down, but the filth will always be with you. Unwashed and unloved and whatever else. I'm not making any sense. It's late. So much love from me to all of you out there. Take care and look for another episode soon. All right.
Beyond the podcast of 1984.
Beyond the podcast of
84. What is this?
It's Beyond the Podcast of 1984.
Well? Oh.
It's just B.C.A.
Better not be. I warn you, for many years, I have been training as an acrobat. Know a lot of tricks.
Well, then show us on btp1984.com.
Of course I wouldn't. Hey! Well.
B.C.A. finds it very hilarious. Maybe you could tune in and listen to the show, btp1984.com.
Sure. What do you think I am? A fake?
Are you a diehard fan of Beyond the Podcast of 1984? Do you want to show off your love for the podcast in style? Well, look no further. Introducing our exclusive podcast merch line. From t-shirts that will make you the envy of all your alien friends, to hats that will keep you looking freaky while repping your favorite podcast. We've got everything you need to take your Beyond the Podcast of 1984 fandom to the next level. So don't wait. Head to btp1984.com now and grab yourself some podcast merch before it's all gone. And remember, wearing BCA's merch will automatically make you funnier and more attractive. Get your Beyond the Podcast of 1984 merch today and join BCA's podcast revolution.